Well, how was your day?
Weird.
Good. It's gonna get weird. Now, second class. Welcome. Again, we're having fun Greek myths. Today, we're gonna be talking about the gods. Gods are, here it's going to be talking about the 12 main gods, like the 12 Olympians, the fourth generation of gods. Right? So, these are the 12 Olympians, or rather 13 Olympians. Because some people debate whether our favorite party boy, Dionysus, is actually a god or not, because he has a mortal mother. Oh, and I'm also going to be going over stories for each one. Right. Now, Zeus. One moment. Zeus is our big boy. He is our adolescent man who kicked his father to hell. Right? His favorite weapon was made by one-eyed monsters. Oh, I'm sorry. And he watched a lot of dating videos on YouTube and became a really big playboy. Right? Zeus stories I already told you last time. Other stories regarding Zeus, it's all sorry, appropriate, so I'm not gonna say it.
No, I don't.
Don't laugh. Got that recorded. Now, second boy, Poseidon. Nice boy. Waterman. Zeus is big bro, and earth plates shaky man. That means he makes earthquakes and stuff. You know him. I know him. You guys probably know him as well. He holds a comically large fork as a weapon, and he is on extremely bad terms with Athena. I'm gonna go over that in Athena stories. And the meter stories. Now, our third boy, this is where the stories come in. Our third boy, Hades, is the king of hell. Zeus' big bro. And he actually, you know, the meter, like the goddess of fertility and really big rice fields woman. Well, her daughter, Persephone, was abducted by his brother Hades and forced to become his wife. Yes. So, in other words, he married his niece. Yes. There's actually a pretty interesting story on this and regarding the seasons. Now, basically what happened was that one day, Hades was just taking a nice stroll in the overworld. He said, right? And then he sees Persephone and friends like playing the rice with like sunshine, rainbow, ponies, and then this, they're playing the fields, right? And then Hades just stand there watching them in the shade of the creepy uncle, and he sees Persephone. Oh, that girl, man, he loves her. He adores her so much. So he did the thing what all weird uncles would do. He went there, he shooed away her friends, and then he took Persephone and said, "You're coming with me, bro." And so he kidnapped her from the overworld and returned to hell. But Persephone wouldn't want to become his wife, so he said, "Nah, I ain't gonna become your wife. My mom's gonna come and rescue me." But actually, Demeter can't, because the underworld is Hades' property, man. It's like America. That's quite sensitive. I shouldn't be saying that.
Nothing sensitive. Okay.
The underworld is Hades' property. So Demeter can just barge and say, "Yo, I want my daughter back." It doesn't work like that. At least not in Greek worldview, right? And so Demeter is really angry, right? She's really angry that her daughter's gone. You know, one day she goes back home and says, "Hey, the rice is done, man." No answer. Persephone! No answer again. "Ah, where's my daughter gone?" And then she finds out it's Hades. She goes with him. He doesn't want to give her daughter back. Really weird. then, so she's really angry, she's really sad, right? So she stops her godly powers, so she stops interfering with the mortal realm. And that makes everything die and cold and snowy and like unlivable and stuff, right? Unlivable and stuff, right? And that, so basically she throws the world into an eternal winter, yes.
So like, I heard that there was like a deal between them two.
Yes,
and,
there
like,
was a deal. One moment, I'll
Oh.
get into that. Now, so, but back in hell, Persephone still doesn't want to marry him. But she's kind of, hey, Mercedes, he's not chill, But she doesn't want to live in the other world. So what does she do? She doesn't eat, she doesn't drink, she does nothing. Just sits there like an old turtle. Like, and he said, hey honey, you want something to no. Until one day, I don't know what happened, but one day, Persephone, I guess she was feeling, I don't know, kind of not herself that day. She said, oh damn, I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry for some ambrosia or something like that. That's God's food. I'm hungry, right? Or it's just, I'm feeling bored, man. I need something to chew with. Because, have any of you, like when you're bored, like eat a cracker or something? Like to, yeah, my man! Like, entertain yourself. Like chew some jerky or something. She's feeling like that. Right? She's feeling like that. So she goes to this really big garden of hell, which is also the place where heroes go, and they have eternal grapes and olives and all that stuff. Right? So she goes to like an orchard. Right? She goes there, she picks a pomegranate, a 石榴, or she picks a pomegranate, and then Hades appeared. And then he said, oh, she's gonna eat that. And then, so he starts talking to Persephone to distract her. So Persephone starts picking apart the pomegranate, and then she eventually pops one into her mouth. She chews, she swallows, and boom. Hades said, ha! Contract is made. Because now she is bound to be in the underworld. Because for some reason in Greek mythology, if you eat something from hell, you're gonna stay in hell forever. You die, basically. If you're dead and you eat that, doesn't make much of a difference. You're just stuck in hell. But if you're alive and you eat that, you instantly die. Like, not die, but you transform into this weird spirit thingy that is chained to hell. Right? So he's like, ha! Moron. You ate that fruit, man. You are now forced to be my wife, But Persephone doesn't like it. She said, no, it's just a pomegranate, man. He said, no. That's what Zeus said. But Demeter, right? Demeter really angry, still really angry. So I think the world has already frozen for like 5 years or something. And then Zeus is extremely angry with Hades because mortals are dying. Everybody's gonna die. Okay, so he goes to Hades and he asks.
You need to explain why everybody is going to die.
Because, well, Allison, you see, because the world is surrounded by an eternal winter with temperatures assuming below -30 degrees. And at that time, they don't have fur coats or insulation or anything else.
But that's
So
only
they're
because
freezing.
Demeter is angry.
Yeah, that's because Demeter is angry. Demeter's having a fit over the abduction of her daughter, which I think is pretty normal, right?
I think there's like a special word that's like food consumed by the Greek gods, but I can't remember what it is.
Food consumed by Greek. It's
No,
ambro-
like the food that Greek gods consume, like grapes, wine, etc. There's a special word.
ambrosia?
Nectar.
Nectar. No, nectar is their drink. Ambrosia is their food.
It's not nectar. It's
What's the
ambi something.
Yeah, ambrosia. Like ANBROSIA or something.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So anyways, Zeus goes to Hades and man, you gotta return your daughter. Also I'm gonna go to your world and start, ripping down your house or something. So Hades agreed and returned her daughter. Now with her daughter back, Demeter is really happy now. Say, hey, you're back. And so the world sort of melts back into this really cool, really nice summer, springtime. Okay? But hey, Persephone is still chained to the underworld. So now every once in a while, Hades would say, hey, time to get back, wife. So Persephone would go back, and then Demeter won't have her daughter, so she's sad again, and the world will go into an eternal winter again, and that's the seasons, basically. Right, that's the seasons. Long story short, boy kidnaps girl, girl mom really angry, girl mom make road cold, girl mom's brother really angry, tells boy to hand over girl, boy hands over girl, girl's mother happy. There. That's the story of Hades, Persephone, and stuff. Right? Okay. I just spent way too much time on Hades. Next one. Hera. The unfortunate marriage goddess. The jealous one. Sister of Zeus, wife of Zeus, and doesn't like Hercules or any other illegitimate children. This depiction is extremely wrong. It's the worst thing Disney has ever done apart from mock Greek myths and stuff. This picture, right, is the epiphany of hypocrisy, right? You never see Hera and Zeus this happy and together. You never see that. Disney has failed us, just so you know. The Hercules movie, animation-wise, it's good. Otherwise, so that's Hera. There's no like it's really big stories around her, apart from the fact that she interferes with a lot of again Disney. But she doesn't interfere with a lot of other stories we're gonna see. Right, Hephaestus, our favorite boy. Our favorite boy. Our favorite hideous boy. Our favorite hideous but extremely skillful boy. Okay. Story time. Hey, Hades is Hephaestus. Hephaestus' mother is Hera. So he's like and legitimate children, really nice. But actually, Hera's like, oh, what is this? He sees the baby. One of his legs is crippled, and he has this weird smile on his face. Her entire face is like, really ugly. And Hera doesn't like ugliness. So she drop kicks him off Olympus, and he falls to his death. Unfortunately, though, he falls in the ocean, and two magical maids found him and raised him, and then he became our legendary Smithy. That's basically his origin story. Now, his wife is Aphrodite, the love goddess.
Oh man.
No, this is Hephaestus. Look, his wife is Aphrodite, but all of Olympus knows that Aphrodite is secretly in love with Ares, Hephaestus' brother, and is currently having an affair with Ares. So he knows his wife is cheating on him, but he can't control it. This happens. Miserable guy. There. That's the story of Hephaestus. Now, Hermes, our fast boy. They're all boy. Sorry. Our fast boy, the speedster, is god of trade, luck, speed, travels, thieves, language, animal husbandry, and sleep. Now, he is also the messenger of the gods. Now, there's actually really good stories about his birth. So basically, he is a really smart guy. Like, I would put him on par with Athena, actually. Basically, this guy, when he was young, when he was little, he already knew how to talk, how to walk, and how to like manipulate people, right? So once he snuck out of his cave, like in his diapers, mind you, and then he sees like these holy cows. Yeah, holy cows. But Apollo's cattle, like sun cows, you know, like premature steak. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
So he sees these cows, right? He's like, oh, it's good steak. It's good meat. I need them. So he wants to steal all those cattle, you know, but he can't make it too obvious. So what does he do? He makes the cow walk like backwards and ties leaves on their feet to cover up their tracks and have the leftover track to confuse Apollo. No, so he steals all of the cows, right? And Apollo is very mad.
Not too obvious, right?
Yeah, not too obvious. Apollo is extremely mad. No, so he says, brother, I don't care if you're my brother, you're going down. I'm gonna kill you today. But then the gods, they say, no. We don't do killing in this family, which is extremely wrong and extremely not Greek myth. But anyways, they end up like having like a friendly little competition between music, right? Yeah, they did like this music thing. Apollo has his like harp thing, and then Hermes has his flute thing, right? And in the end, Apollo won, but Hermes is just barely lost. And Hermes gave Apollo his flute thing, and then everything resolved between the brothers. That's his genius. His other time, it's how he outsmarted Hera, our jealous woman, right? Basically, he transformed himself into little Ares, right? And then snuck up on Hera as she breastfed him, right? So, but then he becomes Hera's foster child, because in Greek mythology, it's like if you feed, like if your wife feeds like a child her like breast milk, then that child becomes like your foster child. It's like a weird ritual thing. But then smart boy, I like him. And then here's our favorite boy, Athena. Girl, boy, I don't know. Now, big brain. She is our favorite brainchild, right? She's goddess of knowledge, war, and order. She's born, like, remind you, she is born with full battle armor, so she hopped up of her dad's head, like Xing, who's ready to fight, like the Mortal Kombat style, you know? She also stabbed her little bro, which is Ares. Now, this is a part where I mentioned her conflict with Poseidon and other connections between Greek cities. Now, you know, Athens, like Yadian, like the Greek country, they have this really cruel, not cruel, they have this really weird origin story about how their city is called Athens. So basically, there was this day where Poseidon starts walking like, and Athena starts walking. And then they both see this gorgeous piece of land with people on it. Say, hey, I'm gonna claim that. Hey, I'm gonna claim that. So they both go on to that piece of land, you know, and then they say, hey, I'm gonna call this Athens. And Poseidon says, no, I'm gonna call this, I don't know, Poseidons or something. And in the end, they come up with like a competition about whoever gives the city the best gift would be like its for name guy, right? So what Poseidon does is that he points a little fork on the ground, stabs the ground, and a little spout of water comes like flowing out, but salt water, so it's useless. You know, it's like the inhabitants of Athens say, hey, there's water, man. Then Athena, on the other hand, Athena stabs the ground with her spear, and then goes out and then blooms out this cherry tree, right, with olives on it, and then say, oh, that's definitely a better gift. So that's how the Athens is called Athens after Athena. Yeah. She also stabbed her little bro, but that's in the Iliad class, the really big story class. Just so you know. Ares, our war boy. That's Aries. He likes to burn. Yeah.
Is he the really strong one in Percy Jackson? That fights Percy?
Yeah. He is that one. Athena's little bro, god of war, and he also, just to remind you, he also stole Hephaestus' wife. There ain't much stories about him other than being stabbed by his big sis. Yeah. Apollo, our bright boy, like Helios stuff. Now he is God. He is the god of everything, right? Whatever you can think of. You see this water bottle? Anyway, he sees this water bottle. The god of this water bottle is now Apollo. There. He sees Annabelle. He is now Annabelle's god. He is the god of literally everything. But most importantly, it's the sun. He's our pretty boy. One big story about him is that he killed a snake. Yeah, his mother, Lita? I forgot. So his mother, Hera hates illegitimate children. So Hera hunts them down, right? So after Apollo is born, he grows up like in 2 seconds and goes to exact revenge for his mother by killing like this giant snake that was hunting them. That's Apollo's story. He also, and regarding Troy, which is also the Iliad. He also, so basically, how do I say this? Basically, there was this time when Hera is fed up with Zeus, like having all those illegitimate children, having all those girlfriends and, pretty boy acts and stuff. So basically, Hera is fed up with that. So what does she do? She doesn't do a divorce. Instead, she tells all the other Olympians to rebel against Zeus, right? And they did. Weirdly enough, they did against the most powerful guy in the universe. They actually rebelled, and they won. They chained him down to his bed, and then laughed at him, mocked him, and stuff. In the end, though, he got free, and he punished the 2 main culprits, which really enough isn't Hera, which is Apollo and Poseidon. So he told them to work as slaves in Troy, like Lil'Louie, in Troy for a year. And then, so Poseidon started building walls, and Apollo started herding sheep. But Poseidon built walls so thick, they're basically impenetrable. So that's how the walls of Troy became a thing. Like in the Iliad, how they couldn't get over Troy because of its thick walls. That's Poseidon. And Apollo, but mainly Poseidon. Artemis. Artemis is Apollo's little sis. She is goddess of the hunt. She really likes bows, which goes pew pew. She is also the moon. She represents the moon, like Apollo represents the sun. Now there was this one story about her where she turns a prince into a deer. Right. So basically, the prince was on a hunt festival, with dogs and men and stuff. Right. So they hunt a deer. The deer dies, but the prince falls off the horse and tumbles into this weird thicket thing where, coincidentally enough, Artemis was showering. She was washing herself and she was naked. And then so basically the prince is like, oh, what is this? And she crossed through the thicket and said, oh. And then he just sat there watching. Oh. Right, but then Artemis turns around and sees it and says, oh God, what is that wretch doing there? So out of her anger, she turns him into a deer. Just that's it. You know what? You're gonna be a deer. Right? So he turns into a deer. Come on, this is Greek mythology. He turns him into a deer and says, what the hell am I? And he starts running around, but in the end, his dogs found him, but because he was a deer, the dogs, killed him, and his men ate him for dinner. That's basically one of Artemis' stories. Also, she's quite like a wacky god, because on Apollo and Artemis, like on the twins' birthday, like Zeus told them, like, I will grant you one wish. Tell me what that wish is. And Apollo wished for, like, oh, I want to be like ruler of the sun and blah blah blah. And Artemis said, I want a bow. Like just like that. She's quite a wacky girl. Right. Aphrodite. Aphrodite. She is the goddess of love and fertility. She is she's the wife of Hephaestus, lover of Ares, and she is born from the castrated remains of Uranus, which I'm not going to go over.
What is this painting called?
What?
What is this painting called?
Aphrodite in the sunken, I forgot.
The one in the clan, Venus.
Oh yeah, Venus. I'm sorry. The Roman one.
Aphrodite and
No, Venus.
oh.
Listen to Miss Newton. She knows paintings better than me. There's not much stories revolving around her, honestly. Not much. Apart from there was one time where she was like sleeping with Ares, in Hephaestus' bed. Yeah, he was sleeping with Ares in Hephaestus' bed, but Hephaestus already knows. So he throws this big net around them, and then he actually catches them and drags them all the way to Olympus and starts mocking them. And he says, you sleep with my wife. I'm gonna drag you naked and let your relatives watch your naked body. So they're basically T-posing around him, and they're just circling around Aphrodite and Ares. It's really a shame, and I think that's where Ares and Hephaestus got their like nemesis relationship thing. Yeah, happy family. Oh, Demeter. She is the goddess of plant fertility. Plant fertility, and her most famous story was the one where her daughter was abducted by her brother. That's basically her. There is no really important news about her reporting. Apart from the seasons. Right. Dionysus, our favorite boy.
I think it's spelled it wrong.
Okay, no, I didn't. Right, is our wine boy, our party boy, and he is also looked down by other gods because his mama is a human, which is weird because many gods come from animals, which I'm not gonna go over. So there's actually a pretty interesting story about it. So regarding his birth, Hera. There was one time where Hera challenged, in my version, Hera basically challenged Zeus and said, hey, look at that tall tree thing. You think you can hit that with your Bazinga Shung Shung lightning thing? And Zeus said, of course I can. I'm the greatest archer of all time, which is not true. It's Apollo and Artemis. But he did it. He throws his lightning bolt at the tall tree thing. It strikes the tall tree thing, and that tall tree thing actually turns out to be Dionysus' mom, Maya. No, not Maya, Simia. Dionysus' mom dies in an instant. Basically fried like a human French fry. But Zeus, realizing what he has done, said, "Oh no, my baby boy!" He rushes to the scene. Right, he sees like this little infant form of Dionysus just sitting there. So he comes up with this brilliant idea of how to save Dionysus, and you know what that is? Is to cut open like his thigh, like right here. He cuts it open and stuffs the baby inside his thigh.
Ew.
Yes, ew. No, I don't know why. He just said, oh, I need to save him. Do CPR? No, it's a baby. I don't know. Injections? No, that won't prolong his life. I know, I'll stuff him in myself.
Is he immortal?
What?
Is he immortal?
Who? Dionysus?
Yeah.
He's he's like a demigod, but not that demigodish. He's more god than mortal. His mom's mortal, so well, she dies. He's like, oh no, he's gonna die. So she stuffs him in his thigh. Then some months later, Dionysus comes out from his thigh. I don't know. It comes out from ow.
No, ow.
Ow. Yes, ow. But not as ow as Athena, which, you know. Well, yeah, so that's his origin story. Thigh Man. His really nice origin story.
Thigh man.
Thigh Man. No, he's actually really symbolic, you know, because since he is looked down by other gods like a lot. They, so there was this once where Aries started mocking him, hey, your mama died, your papa fried your mama. And then he becomes real sad, so he escapes from Olympus and goes into this cave by himself, and that's where he discovered like, oh, I can make wine leaves bloom, my party boy, and stuff like that. No. So that's Dionysus. Yeah. That's it. Alright. Class over.